Hey guys, it's your boy Hung. Now I would like to welcome you and join me on my adventure as we launch our newest channel called Movement of Expression. Now this will be my very first video, so if I stutter, if I say too much, I apologize now. Thank you. So guys, I know you're probably thinking, how are you even a hairdresser, right? Look at your hair, it looks absolutely disgusting. Well guys, I actually don't care. I actually don't care at this point in time. My hair is sort of thinning out a bit and it's a bit worrying, but you know what, hair's hair, it will grow back. And if it doesn't grow, I'll look good bald anyway, you know? Now, you're probably wondering, that's probably the first thing. What is movement of expression? So movement of expression to me is an idea or a concept that I had created about 3 to 4 years ago when I was in my prime doing competitive work as a hairdresser. I found it really hard to draw inspiration or to find inspiration at a location. Not because there was a lack of information out there, it was just very hard to navigate through all the mess. So I decided to create a channel on Instagram called Mo. Now, what is it, you're wondering? So it's pretty much, for every post on Movement of Expression on Instagram, it's a collage of anywhere between 6 to 8 images, and if you swipe left, if you swipe left, then what will happen is then you can see that each individual photos and you can zoom into it and appreciate it and see the details. Now you're probably wondering, who does this appeal to, right? So the idea is that, you know, people that are in the creative industry, people such as artists, makeup artists, designers, photographers, hairdressers, fashion designers, you know, all of these people can come to my channel and just to draw inspiration. Everyone knows that hairdressing is a service industry, right? But let's change that concept, right? Let's change it. I want just the ordinary people out there to be more open-minded about hairdressing, to see that hairdressing isn't just a service industry, but there's the artistic side. And so that way we can all come together and celebrate globally the artistic work. So what are we actually going to do on this channel, you're probably wondering? Well, I figured, you know, everyone is doing, like, you know, Brad Mondo, he's reacting to, you know, bad hair home jobs. Then you have other people that are doing product reviews, all that sort of stuff. I want to kind of create a bit of a niche for this channel, and the idea of it is to do deep dives of a particular photographic collection per episode. So what does that entail? You know, just looking at all the photos, looking at the photos individually, you know, how it was created, what was a collection, what does it look like, you know, how does it all come together, you know, and you know, I might even need your help because I suck at avant-garde work. I have no idea how it would have been created.
Are you stupid or something?
So you know what, we can all come together in the comments below and talk about it. I mean, this is a discussion, right? This is saying a community where we can come together, talk about it, and celebrate people's artistic work. My journey all began when I was in high school in year 10. Now, I initially wanted to do IT, and having all computer subject that year, it was probably the best grades I ever had. Now, part of year 10, I had to do work experience to complete the year, and I decided to choose it at the Adelaide University in the IT department. Now, going there, it was a whole week's worth of learning, and they decided to take me on to this excursion where we moved over to the web designing area. And web designing was something that I actually really wanted to do. I actually did design the salon's website. Go check it out, guys. It's called www.blowitsahairthing.com.au. Check out the website, it's pretty cool. But I got really put off. Because it just reminded me of the episode of The Simpsons. You know, you have all these nerds playing on their computer and they have coffee right next to them, and when they spoke, it was just this odor coming out. It was disgusting. So then I thought to myself, what else do I like doing at that point in time? and the choice was pretty easy. At that point in time, I was a guy that used to go to Woolworths. As some of you guys may know, in other countries, it's called Safeway. And I used to buy myself this product called VO5 gel. And I used to put that through my hair. I got really inspired by a cartoon called Dragon Ball Z. Used to spike my hair up quite a lot. It was brilliant. And hey, you know what? I thought I was pretty good at it too. But in saying that, knowing that I wanted to become a hairdresser, I decided to slack off on my studies. You know, why should I go studying when I'm going to become a hairdresser? Hairdressing doesn't need any sort of qualifications because it's a trade. Well, you do need qualifications, but it's separate from any sort of high school activities that you do. So instead of going to high school, I slowly dropped off a lot more, to the point where I was barely even at school. I didn't even graduate year 12. Do you know what I did instead? I spent the next 2.5 years of my life playing this brilliant video game called Ragnarok Online. And let me tell you, I have no regrets at all. No regrets. It was the best time of my life.
2,000 years later.
One mate in particular came over one time, and he had said to me, "Hey buddy, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm busy." He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, what are you busy with?" I'm like, "I have a war to get to." He's like, "What the f, you idiot?" And the whole idea was, you know, he's like, "Mate, all your friends miss you. Come out and play pool with us." And I said, "No, I told you I'm busy." Then he started digging deeper into what I was doing for the future. And he says, "You said that you were going to do hairdressing. Like, when is that going to happen? You know, everyone's worried about you." And I just said, "I'll get around to it, don't worry." And he just kept pushing, to the point where I yelled at him, "Can you stop nagging me like my mother?"
What did you say?
And that was a turning point, because what he did was probably what any friend should have done. He grabbed me by my collar and slammed me against my cupboard and goes, "Hey, you're gonna come out and play pool with us. And tomorrow, I'm gonna drag your ass out and you're gonna apply for your hairdressing course." Well, me, I was in tears, because it was a point in my life where I was just like, you know what, alright. And so from there forward on, I've never looked back. And it's funny, it's a funny story, because I have always wanted to do hairdressing, but I just needed someone to push me into it. Now going further a couple of years down the track, my mate Yowie, I go to him, "Hey, you know, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here." And he's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And I said, "Look, if it weren't for you, like, I wouldn't be here." He's like, "Boom, did I teach you how to do a haircut? Did I teach you how to do competitive work? Did I teach you to do any of that?" The answer is no. It's a no. The only thing that I had done for you, Horn, is all I did was steer you in the direction, but everything that you have achieved up to this point in time, that's all you. And it made me realize my self-worth. And that is how I got into hairdressing. It's a cool story, right? So guys, you're probably wondering, what are some of your credentials, right? So for me personally, I've been involved in a lot of things, but I'm just going to quickly go through the competitive side. So I've been into the local awards, done a lot of live competitions, gotten many trophies for that. I've also, some of the other passion of mine is doing photographic work. Photographic work is in another league. It really inspires you, it really motivates you to push the boundaries into doing something that's slightly a bit different. Now, my highest achievement to date would be in 2016 when I made the finals of the Colours Technician of the Year for the Hair Expo Awards. That was probably the best feeling ever, just being able to make the awards themselves. It was quite a rewarding feeling. And over time, yeah, you know what, I've done more photographic work for different sort of awards. But you're probably wondering, like, you know, have you done anything since? The question is, well, the answer is no. I didn't really feel like doing anymore because my heart was in it. Because I look back and I realized that, you know, over time, I lost track of what sort of was important to me. And, you know, was I doing it for myself, or was I trying to do it to please the industry? Now, this is something that people will probably eventually get to. If you're starting to do it for other people, or just, you know, just putting work out there, you know, eventually the quality degrades a bit. You lose a bit of that passion. And for me, I am at that point where I don't want to go to that avenue anymore. Where I'm at with my life is I just want to build up my team to be the best they can be. And that is my own personal goal. So my career has taken me to many places. Some of them involved fashion shows. So I've been lucky to be a part of the Sydney Fashion Week. Yes, so I've been involved with Sydney Fashion Week, and I've worked under many hair directors. I remember this one particular time when I worked under John Politano. He's a brilliant hairdresser. I love him. He's the sweetest guy. But in saying that, I remember working with him backstage one day. I was so clueless. I remember sitting outside on the pier and just looking at the sky and looking at the seagulls, and I thought to myself, man, do I really want to be here? Like, is this something that I really enjoy doing? And so from that point forward, I decided never to go back to Sydney Fashion Week. I'm grateful for the experience, but it just wasn't for me. So then over the next few years, you know, having that in the back of my mind and the knowledge on how to be able to do something like that, you know, then we started working fashion designers and creating some of the looks for them and doing runway shows, and yeah, it was fun. It is something that I really enjoy because you feel this sense of empowerment to create a specific look for all the models. It's something that I do love, and it's something that I have been involved with. I've done education on numerous platforms, from doing my own private education. I'm not a stripper. And also doing it with a group of people. It's been a very good experience, and for me personally, doing education, especially platform work, is absolutely brilliant because not only are you learning off other people, but you're also learning about yourself. You know, what your body language looks like, you know, where your eye contact is, you know, how you're being perceived by the audience. It's a truly amazing venture, and also gets your adrenaline pumping as well. I remember doing this one show with the Reiki Young Tribe, and it was at the Reiki Symposium. And I think there was probably about 7 to 8 people there at that point in time. But we were talking to an audience of about 300, and my gosh, the anxiety that we got, but we pulled it off, and it was amazing. I'd love to do education again later down the track, but at this point in time, yeah, I'm just enjoying myself as a hairdresser, just coming to work, helping my workmates progress, helping the business grow, and just being as supportive as I can be for the business. I think it's also very important to acknowledge everyone that has been around you since you've started. So even if they were bad, even if they were mean to you, even if they were very harsh on you, you know, these are all the people that will eventually develop you to the person that you are today. You know, you have to show a bit of gratitude to the people that have brought you up, right? So for me, Steve Labella, he's still working at the moment. He's a bit old and he's a bit of a dinosaur, but let's not get into that. Let's not get into that at all, otherwise I'll get in trouble. No, Steve was a mentor that taught me a lot of things, especially about cutting. It's someone that I have always idoled, and now he's my business partner. But for me personally, I see him as almost like another fatherly figure, one that I've never had. The biggest inspiration for me, and you know what, the hairdressers themselves probably do know this already, but my biggest inspiration was a guy named Justin Pace and Dimitri Pappas. So they used to own a salon called Pappas and Pace, and I was very devastated when their partnership ended, because I just thought they were just the best duo. Justin Pace was an incredible guy who did all these color work, and I just remember so clearly what he said. You know, he uses cutting techniques with his coloring techniques, like, you know, graduation and the graduation of colors. Dimitri, you know, learning his intricate sort of haircuts and his personality, and you know, it was so amazing to be able to work with them. And I've also had workshops with them. So let me tell you something about that. You know, if you ever had an opportunity to do a workshop, I would highly recommend these two guys. You know, I did a cutting and coloring course with them, and what I learnt within like a day, it was more than what I had learnt within like my last 3 to 4 years of hairdressing. You know, they taught me how to do, you know, clipper over comb and the graduation of colors and melting colors together. Like, I'll leave them in the link below so that way you can follow them on Instagram, but they are incredible. And yeah, they're my biggest inspiration. Love them, love these guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure today. It is my very first episode and I hope you liked the deep dive on myself. Now, if you like this sort of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video, and hey, guys, join the movement.